had a long week, but we're gonna try to get some stuff done. Stay tuned. I'm here. Time to get cracking again. My brother came through. I might try to do some other stuff as well. I want to try to bend the pipe. Pause. Unfortunately, I couldn't find the bubble flare tool. I have the double flare tool, not the bubble. So I know there's ways you can kind of make it. And like I said earlier in the last video, I was able to kind of do a makeshift flare that kind of looked like a bubble flare. And I was going to rock with that. But, you know, I don't know how the logistics would be by me doing that. If it would be like still safe or still to tolerance and etc. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna set up on the table, I'm gonna get everything out, and I'm gonna show you guys what I'm talking about, and we'll take it from there. What's up, everyone? So yeah, so right now I'm just trying to do another test flare. So I cut the line, as you can see, got another line right here. Looking at this video, how to do like a bubble flare using a double flare kit, because obviously I can't find a bubble flare. So I have the line here, I'm using the flat side of the flaring tool, right? If you look on this side got the flares in it. This side is flattened right here on this part. So I'm gonna do, essentially what I'm gonna do is take this die. Usually with the die you wanna have it where it's like right here, 316, you see? The little tip, pretty much lined up with the rim of that. I didn't deburr this because I'm making sure this is a test. I want this kind of straight on. The pipe is slightly kind of bent, so we'll see what happens with that. I'm going to put this on here right now. Well, tighten it. Wish me luck.
The house partly because it's in a school district. That's a really good school district.
Here's the flare. Now, mind you, it's not 100% straight because this piece at the top here wasn't 100% straight. As you can see, it's kind of bowed to the side. So I was just comparing it to the original bubble flare. Oh, I'm putting it over here. Original bubble flare, you can see. And I'm like, look, that's pretty much kind of close. If you look at the thickness, I mean, obviously it could be a little bit more thinner, but you see this is a good side that got really flattened. It still got the kind of bubble contour on it. I mean, this piece is a little bit higher than the other side as far as like the connection, but for the most part it kind of looks the same. So I think I'm going to attempt to use this flaring kit and try to do it. Now obviously before I drive the car I'm going to test it out to make sure that there's no leaks in the system. So hopefully there's no leaks and everything should be fine. So I'm not flaring it today, possibly. It depends on how far I get with the lines. If I get it done decently, then I might do it. If not, I might try to see if I can buy the bubble flare kit. It's just annoying to find it and then try to, you know, purchase it. And then from what I was reading, the ones that I can afford, they have a piece that every time they put the die in, the die happens to break and some other crap. So I don't want to go through all that, but like I said, I'm gonna play it by ear. The main objective of this video is to bend this line into the proper shape. I'm gonna show you guys that when I get ready to do it. And what's up, guys? I was just laughing at my brother just now. Now I remember, you guys remember, I'm sorry I was gonna tape it, but my dad was talking to me and then he wanted to help him do some stuff, so I kind of got distracted. But yo, I told you guys the last time, the guy was like, oh, it's gonna cost me $105 each to do it. You know, it takes a while to bend. Now I just roughly bend this thing. How many minutes now? Like about a minute, 2 minutes?
Yeah, at most two.
At most two. Look at it. And this is not even fully accurate yet. Just like kind of rough bend. Look at that. No kinks in it. Nothing. About the same dimensions. Now what I'm gonna do here, I'm gonna cut about right here to make that final loop, and then I'm gonna start tightening up everything. That took me less than 2 minutes. And I'm possibly going to reuse these ends, these flare ends, because the ones that came with the kit with the copper line, they don't have like this kind of like little bevel piece here, and they don't really kind of like thread in there tight enough for me. They thread in, but they kind of loose. So, but look at that. Literally took me less than 2 minutes to bend this wire, and the guy only charged me $105 to do it. This is why sometimes you guys got to do things yourself. I'm very sorry that I didn't show you guys the process and I didn't time lapse it, but what I'm going to do, I'm going to cut it. I think I might have enough left over to do the second line, and when I do the second line, I'll show you guys. I'm back. Sorry I didn't show you the bending process. Like I said, I'll probably bend the other one depending on how much I have left here, and see. But right now, I'm going for it. I'm about to do the flare. I'm going to try to do the bubble flare based on what I saw online using the double flaring tool. I am being a little impatient, but what I'm going to do, my theory is this: if I get these two ends flared, put them into the car, and then once I do the other side, I'm gonna do the same thing, and I'm gonna have my brother press the brake fluid. And if it doesn't leak from the joint there, and it doesn't leak from the back there, and it only comes out pressurized through this little mechanism I have here when the car originally was sitting in there, I'm gonna assume that everything is all good and everything is cool. So yeah, I'm just gonna keep this on this so y'all can see. So I think, like I showed you earlier, this time I'm being a little bit more cautious. I kind of deburred it a little bit using this right here, just to get in there to kind of open it up a little bit. This has to be perfectly straight on there to get it right. So I have it on here. I'm about to get this piece here, and this is where it gets tricky because this has to be like I said, perfectly flush. And I'm doing it kind of on the side. Usually people use a vise, and I don't got no vise, so I gotta try to make it work. So I don't want to have to re-bend the line. Let me stand up a little bit. Maybe that might help it a little bit. Shout out to the cameraman, my brother. Say that looks pretty straight on to me. And in theory, you're just supposed to like just crank this down until it flares itself and it makes that little bubble against the flat surface. So that's what I wanted to do. So I'm gonna flatten it down as much as I can until it kind of bottoms out. Not too much, like about right here. And I'm gonna loosen it out. And hopefully this flare is good enough. And then we're going to compare it to the original flare that was on the car and take it from there. So to me, that looked kind of official, but we're going to compare it, like I said. So here's my makeshift bubble flare. Could be a little bit tighter as far as like some of the pieces here. Look at the lip here, kind of cool, hopefully. And this is the other flare, the original one. So if you look at the original one, it's still kind of like not 100% perfect. I mean, it does. Let me see if I can straighten this back out a little bit and get this back. I don't have like a crazier deburring tool. Now you're probably looking at me like I'm crazy at this one. There's this OCD in me. Bend this back straight a little bit. See? Make it be a little bit better to see right here is not 100% flat, but once you tighten this in, it's supposed to crush this piece. That's the whole purpose of the bubble flare. So I'm going to try it. The beauty of this whole process is this: if this doesn't work, this material wasn't that expensive, I can always cut off this tip. I still have way more enough room to expand on it if I need to. And also the way I was able to bend this up so quickly shouldn't take me too much time. So anyway, just wanted to show you guys this. I'm going to, mess around with this a little bit more, and then I'm going to do the rear side, and then I'm going to put it under the car and see how that goes. All right? See y'all on the next clip.
When you hear what I'm gonna say,
Go, row, 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 row.
I'm cold. I'm
So what's up, guys? I'm back again real quick. Shout out to my pops and my brother and my dad. I was having issues with these. I'm using the old lines, the old fittings, because the new ones that I have doesn't have this kind of race here, or this kind of like bevel. I think I said this earlier in the video. And this one was the one that broke off completely. It was kind of fully rusted back here. My dad got that kind of like grinder, and he zipped off the back piece here, and I took it down on the vise and hammered it out and got the front piece out. That was perfect. This one, same situation. I cut it from here, but it left like a kind of beveled piece here and it wouldn't slide out, so I was trying to do the whole pipe cutter thing in the front. It wasn't cut off, so my dad cut this one off at the front using the same grinder, and I went down to the vise and hammered it out. So they both hammered out. I'm gonna clean it up a little bit, just spray them down, clean them up, and then get it ready to put back on. The only thing I don't like about it, if you look at the nut, is kind of like stripped certain parts here, but it is what it is, man. I'm just gonna try to make do with what I have and take it from there. As long as it can tighten and give me the proper seal, I'll deal with it for now. I would love to have new fittings like this, but fortunately the kit didn't come with it. They're too loose, and I don't feel like going to buy any new ones. I know it's not a rush right now, but they still can work, so I'm just going to clean them up and put them back on. Alright, so I'll check in with you guys. Like I said earlier in the last clip, my dad helped me out. So this is the oven flare. I'm getting better at the flaring. It looks, can you pass an other piece right there, like the bubble flare one that's there? Like right there in the front? Yeah, pass that. So if you look at this one, this is a bubble flare. I mean, don't get me wrong, it does have that little kind of like dimple at the top. This one doesn't necessarily have that, but it's kind of like similar as far as like how that looks. And I know that once you put it in the spot and it crushes, it's gonna be good to go. See, boom, that's not too bad. It looks pretty close and looks pretty good. Now I know most of you guys who have done this gonna be like, nah man, that's not gonna work, you're gonna die, God forbid, obviously. But like I said to my pops, and I said to my brother and everybody else, if this doesn't work, and when I tighten up everything and it still leaks, and if it leaks and it doesn't hold pressure, I will start again. I'll either keep this same line, cut off this tip here, get the bubble flare kit and do it, or if the line is no good because I didn't leave enough slack, etc., then this material is not that expensive for me to buy another set. Yes, it's a learning experience. Yes, I messed up, but if that's the case, I don't see it being that way, but we'll see. So right now I got that line is completed. That is the driver's side rear line, so that one is completed all the way through. This one is the rear one. This is the passenger side that I did earlier, but now I have to get this on and flare this, and I'm gonna do that in a second. And then I'm gonna try to fit them up, like rough fit it up, and then take it from there. My dad actually found this later on after I've already done bend them, this tool. So this could be useful. It's not a bad tool. It's a pipe bender. If I had the steel line, obviously this would be perfect. But this is, I could bend by hand. It's not too bad. I pretty much got the right dimensions and just like tweaking it here and there. And that's it. So I'll catch you guys up when I'm done with that. It's starting to lose light, so I want to try to finish before wrapping up now. That's the one thing I hate about this time of year. It gets dark so fast, you can't really see anything. And it makes it difficult to work. But let me get my phone with a flashlight so I can see what I did thus far. Okay, so if you look down there, you can You see that the lines are in there. I don't know if you guys can see it. They go to copper lines. Can you see them? You see the two lines? They go one and the other one right there. Now, unfortunately, some of the bends came out because of the fact that I had to position it a certain kind of way to get it into the side of the car. So I have to redo it. The actual driver's side was pretty decent because, you know, you learn from your mistakes. So what I did with the driver's side, that one was able to, like, you know, thread in nicely underneath because of the fact that I started from this area and I worked my way back. The last one I started from the back and tried to push it forward, so the orientation was off, so the passenger side is not done properly. So if you look all the way down here, and there it is right here, they go to two lines. So like I said, and then it's right there. There you go. See? So as I said, I'm getting ready to leave. I hope you saw it right, because I wasn't with the car. It's getting dark, getting ready to head out. My brother's about to leave, so I figured, you know what? The major thing is done. The flaring is done. The lines were bent. I mean, I have to probably rebend the other line, and mainly I got to get it connected. Once I get it connected in here in the engine bay, and then kind of redress it up, everything should be fine. So, you know, that major hurdle will be done. Hopefully it works. I mean, guys, I know I didn't use a bubble flare kit. I'm looking at the flares. They don't look too bad. They look almost identical to the bubble flare that's there. I know I'll probably gonna get something in the comments saying, I know I actually got the bubble flare kit. Like I said, I'm going to do a test, you know, test pump, if you will, for lack of better words. When I put everything back together, I'm going to tighten up everything, put some fluid in the reservoir, and I'm gonna have my brother or somebody pump it for me, and I'm gonna see if I have any leaks. And if I don't have any leaks, I'm gonna call it good. If I do have leaks, then I'll readdress the lines, like I said, pull them back out, do what I gotta do. Ideally, I would like to have some better fittings. Obviously, I thought the new fittings that came with the package would have been good enough, but they're not really have the right threads. They're kind of too loose inside the hoses when I tested it, and I don't want any leaks seeping through, excuse me. So at the end of the day, that's what it is what it is. I want to thank you guys again for watching. I know this wasn't probably the most entertaining video, but it's still something. And please like, comment, share, and subscribe. Take care, have a good night, and God bless.